Welcome to Why They Play the Game, a show created to discuss the NBA on and off the court. I'm just one of your co-hosts, Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Ken Hayes.
Hey, my brother, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. What about yourself?
Oh, brother, I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. You know what? We had an exciting game that just got over with, and we want to go ahead and discuss that, man. Listen, the Bucks. We know what happened the last time they went into to Brooklyn. They came away with that L.
Yeah.
But today the Bucks walk away 118-113. Ken, just some observations of the game, man.
Well, let me start off by saying, down the stretch, they played better than they did on Friday against Boston. Friday they shot 1 for 11 in the final 5 minutes. This time and today, I'll say, just played really well, moved the ball around. Dame didn't have that great of a shooting night, but from the free throw line, nine out of 11, I'd take that all day, Mike.
Yeah.
Giannis had his typical 30-plus game. You can't say no more about that. The Bobby Portis came in, had 23. I think he hit like 4 threes.
Yes.
Gary Trent, in which I'm looking to see more out of him, had a nice game. That's a Gary Trent that I'm looking for. If he can give me, let's just say, between 12 and 16 a game, somewhere in between there, I'm good with that, Mike.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Well, just going back to what you had mentioned about the Boston game, I thought the Boston game for 3.5 quarters, the Bucks played. Right. They played a heck of a game up in Boston. I thought it was going to boil down to, again, man, 9 games that those 3 guys have played together, and in a crunch time moment, that's why tonight was so big for them, because in a crunch time moment, you could look in Boston that they were just like, okay, so who's going to get going? Who's going to carry us? It was not a collective, I thought, effort toward the finish line in Boston.
Right.
Tonight, man, first of all, Ken, man, we got to talk about Giannis. Man, Giannis is the most dominant. And I'm not just saying this because I am a Bucks fan. Man, Giannis took over the game tonight. When the game started to slip away early in the third quarter and the Bucks made a little run, Brooklyn called a timeout. Giannis was moving toward the bench and he was clapping his hands and he was saying, "Let's go, let's go." You could see in the post-game a press conference, Doc talked about how you can see that switch in Giannis. And Giannis said, we are not losing tonight. And to have that impact, there is no player in the league, Ken, that has that impact on both sides of the ball. What about that block he had tonight on Schroeder?
Yeah.
What about the block he had on Şengün?
Yeah,
man, y'all, I understand. The Joker is cold-blooded. I get it. He's gonna assist. But when you talk about dominating the game, there is nobody on the planet right now that gets whatever he wants. When Giannis said, "I'm going to the basket, I'm about to get one," he get one.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna stand in his way. And he's working on that pull up
Mid-range.
8 to 10. Ken, I'm just saying, man, he needs to be at the top of that MVP conversation, man. He's having a better year this year than last year. Then he was the first one, to average 30 plus and 30 and shooting 60% from the field. I mean, when you look at 30 and 10 plus and shooting 60% from the field, he was the first one in the history of the game to do that. Wilt didn't even do that. And so he's having a better season this year. So, man, I want to give Giannis some love, man, because that dude is, man, he's unreal, King.
He's playing out of his mind, Mike.
Oh my God.
Right. I mean, I think we talked about this last last show that right now, if you had to vote for MVP, to me, hands down, it would be Giannis. And
Absolutely.
like you said, I'm not saying that because I'm a Bucks fan. It's just how things are gone as far as the season is concerned. I think that um, when they started the season, um, I think they were like 1-9 or something like that.
Yeah, I think 2-8 or
Two and
something like
something
that.
like that.
Hmm.
You look and but Giannis was still putting up numbers, and I think that it's going to be, I'll say, a work in progress for the Bucks. Um, a game in my mind that I think they should have won more handily. Don't get me wrong, Brooklyn, young, they want to get out on the fast break, shoot threes. I think that Schroeder, he had a monster game. Hit some threes.
Hmm.
Cam
Hmm.
Johnson
Hmm.
played well also. I think he's coming into his own. So, no team is going to lay down for anybody. But I just thought that, with Milwaukee coming back from that loss in Boston, that they should have I thought maybe won by at least, let's just say 10.
Well, for me, number one, Milwaukee only took 68 shots, and
Right.
they took 81 shots.
That's a lot.
Um, and I mean, that's unheard of to only
Right.
take 68 shots. I mean, the Celtics alone are shooting 53s. And as a team, you take 68 shots. Um, but what I'm going to say is teams like this, for instance, just the other night, Detroit beat the Knicks.
Yeah.
And Denver just got spanked, right? By Washington. And Washington that was their third game, I think, winning all season.
Right.
Like we've said it and we've been preaching it from this show, folks. Listen, we've been preaching it. If you don't show up, listen, these are NBA players. And if you don't show up and they get comfortable, guess what? You're going to take
Take
an
that
L.
L. Right.
And but I think though, Ken, when it comes to the teams that are young, that these teams that are young, they these young teams that are young, that are fast, that shoot a lot of threes. Like Brooklyn is fifth in the league in shooting threes. Okay, so they're going to put it up. Their pace. These sort of teams, the Detroits, they give older teams like the Bucks, like the Knicks, they give those teams trouble. The
Fits.
Lakers give
Right.
them. You see what I'm saying? Because all they're going to do is they just going to run you. Okay, what happened to the Bucks last year? It wasn't Indiana was better. It was their pace. They
Right.
just ran up and down the court, man, and they were very effective in doing that. And I think the Bucks have settled in and have figured out how to handle these teams. And to me, when the Bucks were in control. I mean, until the
Third quarter.
third quarter, and they had that lapse where they started having turnovers. I mean, you look at the turnovers, man. I was like, come on, man. Like, you got to protect the ball better than that. But when you look at 60 points, Ken, from the bench, 60 points tonight from the
Yeah.
bench. Yeah.
And that's what
Would
you're
you
looking
take
for.
that?
Yeah, I take that all
Yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah. If you man, listen, if you get 30 and 40 points off of your bench, I mean, if you got a player that's coming off that's gonna get you 10 and another one that's gonna get you 15 and might have a breakout, but 60 points, oh man, they needed that. They needed that bench production, but I knew it was going to be a tough battle going up into Brooklyn, just how Brooklyn had done them the last time with their speed.
Mhm.
But they made the adjustments. The Bucks have trouble when Dame is being blitzed, and they can't get Dame free. Now that hurts their spacing because Giannis has got to bring the ball up now, and so if Giannis is bringing the ball up, they're
He ain't
building
getting
that
it back.
wall. He dish, they miss. Bruh, there's no flow. this is where Chris comes in at, man. And let
I
me
was,
say this, Ken.
I
Let's
was just
talk about
getting ready to
Chris
say that.
Middleton. Man, listen. Um, Chris reminded me why I love him so much. I mean, man, come on, man. Chris Middleton is that dude, man. Like,
True
Chris,
professional.
man, come on. Listen, Chris is everything to the Bucks. His I don't care. They lost in Boston, man. I don't care about that, man, because his presence on the court and what he's gonna bring, you cannot blitz Dame with Chris. With a healthy, with a productive Chris Middleton, that is out the window. Go ahead and do it. And then you got Chris, and then you got Giannis. You got Chris and Giannis and Brooke, and you got four people operating like that. Two assassins between Giannis and Chris, or you switch it up. You double Chris, then you got two assassins and Giannis and Dame. Listen, this folks, I'm gonna say what Deion Sanders said.
What's that?
You better get me now. Because you know what? On down the road, folks, the Bucks is going to be a completely different team. Ken, so your observations of Chris, we have a short sample, man, but what are your thoughts?
2 games. I mean, Chris is just, I'll say this, Mike, a true professional, man. You just want somebody like him on your team. Man, I he just showed to me that no matter the circumstances, if he hurt, not 100%, he gonna give you 100. He gonna give you 100%, and
Yeah.
that's the thing about Chris. He can light you up. He can play some defense, rebound. He gonna do whatever it takes to win that ball game, and that's what I like about Chris, man. I mean, there's not many guys out there that's going to do that for you. There's
Mm-hmm.
not. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I think having him back takes a load off of Dame and Giannis, probably the whole. I'll say the whole team, just to
Yeah.
as a comfort level. So
Yeah.
once he can get his wind under him, you know, get his rhythm, back fully, I think it's going to be a different team as far as the Bucks are concerned because they don't have to depend on, let's just say, 2 people, Giannis and Dame,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to fill it up. So yeah,
Man, listen. Chris is just one of those dudes. Chris is just a baller. You know what I mean? Like he don't need he as soon as he gets on the court, man, his ability to shoot the ball, his ability to pass, his decision making, man, you could all see this dude ain't played in how long. Okay. And he looked decent. He looked like
right,
he looks strong, he looks healthy, his lateral movement is good, his jumper looks good. All he's got to do is get his win and his timing. And
exactly.
then it's gonna be then we can start having a conversation about the Bucks because
Okay,
we've been having
that's fair.
all these conversations about the Bucks when they've been handicapped, when Giannis been out, and the Bucks are this, and man, all the year long I didn't heard these haters from Kendrick Perkins to Rob Lowe to all of them, man. Stephen A. I didn't heard Charles Barkley. I didn't heard all of them. All of them, man. We don't even want to talk about the Bucks. Okay. 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 Well, let me tell you something. This win tonight, folks gonna be looking like, oh, I guess Chris is back. I guess Chris looked good. Because Dame's role now. Man, it's been real interesting looking at Dame because there are moments where Dame has had to, in my opinion, compartmentalize his game. Like if Giannis didn't play or Giannis was in foul, something he has to know. Then okay, I'm gonna get busy. I'm gonna do what I need to do. And so for me, Dame is the one that's is really the glue because tonight Dame had, man, I don't even think he had 10 shots. Okay. He finished with a double double, but he had 11 assists, bruh. I mean, yeah, do I want that? I think Dame had 15 and 11. Will I take 15 and 11? Absolutely. If I got a Chris Middleton give me 20 some, or if I got 60 coming off the bench, oh, absolutely, I will take that. And so I think Dame, the shift right now is how does Dame fit in between Giannis and Chris? Remember again, let's reiterate they only played 9 games together under Doc Rivers. So it's not a large sample size. So it's gonna
No,
take
it's
them a
not.
minute before. And I love that extra pass, man, that Dame had when he hit Chris, and Chris pulled up for that elbow on the left side three. And then Chris looked at him and pointed at him and said, "Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like that's what they have to build." And to me, Ken, them having to fight. Man, finally, I want to see some fight in the Bucks.
Oh,
Ken, have you seen how much fight have we saw?
none whatsoever. No, I mean, what was he plays for? I don't even know if he's played. Now he's playing with the Clippers. I don't know if they released him. PJ,
PJ Tucker.
yeah.
Uh huh.
When he was with the team, they had
Mm-hmm.
they had attitude.
Yeah,
Now
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't see that attitude anymore. But
But
that's
I
here and
did,
there.
yeah. But I did see some fight, and to me, them having to come back, losing control of the game, Giannis having that mindset that he's going to carry this team, the big shots that Bobby hit. Oh man, Bobby hit some
Bobby
big
was on.
shots, man.
Oh man,
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's talk about Bobby Portis for a moment, man, because in Boston now he was struggling on the offensive end. I think he had like 18 rebounds. So his contribution, it was there. It was there. We needed some more offense. But Ken, talk about Bobby's game today.
I mean Bobby. I mean I think he had 4 3 pointers. Um, he can do it inside, outside, Mike. What I really like about Bobby is when he posts up. That's when he's getting buckets and getting fouled and getting the other team in foul trouble. So it's just more that they have to look for him sometimes, and I'll say kind of point him out. Let me get him going. I'll say that's a glue coming off the bench. Bobby is, and um, Bobby. I think he struggled a little bit this season, and with the incident, with someone breaking into his home. I think that is kind of took a little
Mm.
focus off of it, out of him. I'll put it that way. But Bobby's he's gonna give you that effort, and at home he's a fan favorite, so they love him. So I think he's just trying to get back and trying to take his mind off of that as far as someone going into his home. I mean that's just an invasion of privacy, as we would say. But
Absolutely.
man, that's crazy.
Absolutely. Folks, as always, hit that subscribe, that like and that subscribe button so you can get this notification. We're talking to Milwaukee Bucks 118-113 over the Brooklyn Nets. Bobby Portis finished with 23 points, 5 rebounds, I believe, and 1 assist. Man, Bobby, he hits like we big shots. I mean, big shots. I mean, when Dame or Giannis work that hard to draw the defense and give you that open look, you gotta hit it, man.
Yeah,
And ooh, man, Bobby was, Bobby went to work, man, and he had to, like I say, offensively redeem himself because if he had to hit a few shots in Boston, it might have been a different outcome. But you can't blame Boston on him. They just fell apart in the last few minutes, last 6 minutes, I think. They went like 1 for 13 in the fourth quarter. Well, you're
well,
not gonna
Mike,
win that way.
let me bring this up to you. You tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, Connaughton has
Mm-mm.
not played at all or got very few minutes. Mike, I'm going to say he probably on the trading block. They're trying to work some out.
Yeah, I believe they are, man. You know, again, let's talk Doc Rivers. And I think I'm gonna give Doc some credit. I think his rotation has been a little bit better, but he's also had a little more to work with. Guys have started. TP is playing out of this world with his. He's shooting like 50-some% from three, man. Gary's starting to play now, so it's easier and your rotation can look better. But yeah, I don't understand how Pat does not get in the game. I don't
Right.
understand how
Both.
DeLon Wright does not get in the game. I just don't, especially tonight when you're chasing around Dennis Schroeder. When you want to have fresh bodies on him when Schroeder is cooking. I mean, Schroeder was up in, man, he was making some smorgasbords, man. He had the German sauces out, man. I was like, what? Oh, man, I want to jump through, put my DO gear on, man, and try. I'm like, Schroeder he had a
Cooking.
game, man. And so
13
I'm
for
thinking,
19.
why in the world is DeLon Wright
Right,
not getting
right.
in there? Let him work on what you get him for? Oh, you didn't get him to shoot threes? What you get him for? Well,
For
his
defense.
defense.
Right.
So I'm thinking, like, Doc, man, I have yet to figure out, man, like, if this dude has a real rotation. Does he know how to put guys in timely? Does he know how to do matchups? Because, Ken, I'm going to tell you what, to me, when they played the Knicks and they got smoked in the Garden, man, there is no way you should come out with Brooke Lopez on Karl Anthony Towns. Stop it. I mean, that's why Karl had a career game.
Didn't he have
Okay.
like 24 in the first half?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, Doc said, well, the second thought, we probably should. What? We didn't want Giannis to get. No, dog. No, man, if you that dude, you match up with that dude. Man, this ain't, I don't want to get in foul trouble or this thing. That's why they got cooked. So to me, the jury is still out, Ken, on whether or not I think Doc Rivers is the coach that can really maximize. And this is what we're talking about here. I'm not talking about a win, loss column. I'm talking about maximizing the talent that he has. Man, he's got 2 all-time 75 greatest players. He's got Chris Middleton, an all-star. He has got probably the 6th man of the year. Should have been in years past and even in this year, Bobby Portis. Man, he's got all the weapons around him. Does he? Ken, we could look at, I could even look at that Boston team that won that championship and say that the Bucks is on the same level as that Boston team with KG, with Ray Allen, with Paul Pierce. We could line them up. And so what is he going to do? Can he maximize that talent? That's all I want to know. And I think the jury is still out.
Yeah, it's gonna be out for a while. Mike, if you ask me right now, I just don't have trust in Doc. I'm sorry, I just don't. I mean, rotation wise, to me, that's one of the biggest problems that I have. Not playing young players.
Come
That's
on,
another.
man.
I
We
mean,
look around the league, Ken, and we see all these young bucks getting runs and this, that, and the other thing, man. And you not even letting these dudes get on the court.
the only positive as far as youth is concerned is AJ Green. Yeah, he's getting about, I would say, between 15 and 20 minutes. Some nights.
Well,
I
let's
mean,
talk about AJ Green.
Okay.
Came in on a 2-way contract. You remember, Ken?
Right.
We
talked about this before.
we're Bucks nerds, we're draft nerds, and so when he got drafted, we went and looked, did our homework, and we had that conversation, and we were like, yeah, this dude, he nice, but our concern was not his shooting, but his defense.
Defense.
Okay, and what they call him now? Barry Bird. Huh? What did Barry Bird do, bruh? He worked hard on D.
You need to, right?
I
But
give him respect though, bro.
right.
Green is work. He come in, man. He ain't just trying to shoot that 3. He working hard on defense, man. He picking up the best player, the best wing player, and he's working. And for that, he's gonna have a decent career if he keeps working like he's working.
Because he can shoot it now. He can shoot it. I mean, with no hesitation.
Man,
okay.
Hey, listen. That crossover step back that he did on left elbow in Boston, man. I was like, okay. I
What
was
is it?
like,
Okay, young
yeah.
fella.
I was like, yeah, but he worked hard on defense, man. So I am pushing for him. Take advantage of every opportunity he can get.
Exactly.
He's hit some big shots. Let's be honest. He's
Oh
hit some
yeah.
big shots this year, man. And I was like, okay. That and when you do that, you earn minutes.
Right.
And I'm all good with that, man. But we got Marjan sitting there.
Man, come on. All
Um,
right. We
I
we
don't
went
I
low.
don't know. Is if trading's coming up, we have to see what happens with him. But folks, I'm here to tell you, the Bucks, in my opinion, played a very good game tonight. I probably would give them I probably give them a B. Can
Yeah, I'm
I
with
give them
you.
a B. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the stats, I mean, the team stats. Again, the Bucks themselves.
Shot
Um,
57%.
yeah, they fought, and you would know that, but they only took 68 shots. I mean, that's the killer, And Brooklyn took 81 shots, and you the question is, and this is the Bucks have got caught a couple times where they just don't have enough offensive production, and so when that happens, they've been in too much ISO ball.
No.
When the Bucks are getting up threes and hitting threes, and they're getting 80 shots, 85 shots a game, the ball is moving. And so for me, they still haven't gotten to that place, Ken, where they completely trust one another. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. But I mean, I'll say this. I mean, from three, they were like 15 for 31, about what, almost 49%. I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that every night. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the 15, 16, you would
yeah.
like to have them, closer to 23s. 23 makes a night is what you would want them to have. I mean, if you're gonna beat a Boston, I mean, we just have to say this. This is if you're gonna beat a Boston, you're gonna have to outscore them. And Boston's gonna put up they're going to put up 50 plus threes. They're trying to hit. I guess the statistical number for Boston is once they hit 20, they haven't lost a game when they're hit 20 plus threes.
Okay.
And so that's what they're trying to get to. And Ken, let me just say this on the side note, and we're not going to go much longer, but let me say this on the side note about Boston. Boston is terrible basketball. I'm sorry, man. You know what, man? Y'all can criticize me and say that, man. All of those, everybody running to the 3-point line. Folks can go lay it up. They run to the 3-point line. You see Drew pulling back from taking a 8-footer to it's ugly basketball. And I get it. I get why they do it. They got some good shooters on the team. And their whole thing is we don't have to D you down. All we got to do is just outshoot you. It's kind of the you remember the Phoenix Suns of old. And
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
people might even say the Golden States, the young Golden States, maybe, right? Um, but to me, Ken, I don't like watching them play. I'm
Let
just
me ask.
telling you, man.
Let me ask you this
And,
question, Mike.
okay, and hold that question, but let me
Okay.
just say this as a caveat. And Jason Tatum is one of my favorite players.
I know,
So
right?
it's that sort of like conundrum that I'm in, man, because I don't like to see him play. Go ahead, Ken.
So we remember we talked about, let's just say, the viewership is down in NBA.
Mm, mm.
Do you think fans are, let's just say, not satisfied with all the 3-point shooting and just not seeing the ball move around and just, team, I'll say, I'm gonna use the word team basketball if that's a better
Hmm.
way of saying it. Do you think that's why viewership is low?
I think it is exactly why. And let me say this: I think the NBA is catering toward a younger audience. And if you look at the last decade of NBA basketball, or at least the last 15 years since Steph has come in, You have a younger audience, man, and that's all they know. That's all they know. They think that's why you see kids and AAU and all that's all they know. Now you have cats like us that have seen basketball through the last 3-4 decades, and we've seen the evolution of the game. And there's things that we don't like about that evolution. We love the game, but we think that there's things that make the game, in our opinion, less entertaining. But Ken, this is a difference. The younger fans, they don't care about analytics. They don't care about they don't care about how well a team is necessarily playing together, and they don't look at the team and the growth of the team, and they don't look at the relationship and the culture and all. Can't they
They
have
looking
all
at
they
the
do is look
players.
at their favorite player,
Yep.
because guess what? That's how branding works. So when LeBron's my favorite player, he now in Miami. Love him. Let me go and get that Miami jersey. Ooh, now all of a
Yeah.
sudden he in LA. I'm an LA fan, man. I
Right.
love LA. That's what a lot of people in the younger audience in which they are going after, man. And I think they're making a really bad calculation, Ken, because it's cats like you and I and others, man, that we watch the game not because of one player.
Oh,
We watch the game because we love the game.
right.
You see what I'm saying? And when you start losing that audience, man, when I'm saying like I'm checking the injury report to see who's playing,
Stop. We won't even.
or or I'm looking and I'm like, nah. So the Boston playing the Wizards tonight. Well, I'm gonna watch that game. Jordan Poole gonna put up about 23s. Boston gonna put up 50 something three. You know what I mean? So when you looking at that, Ken, you like, nah, I ain't gonna even watch that, man. What else is on? But what are your thoughts, man, on those plummeting ratings?
Mike, yeah, I think that as far as viewership, I mean, everybody, I mean, you got power forwards, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", shooting threes. I heard from let's just say a good friend of mine saying, he
Mm-hmm.
had somebody that he was trying to get, play overseas. They said, if you can't hit the three, don't even bother showing up.
Mm.
So, I mean, I know that's a big part of the game, but the thing about it, where's the fundamentals? Where's the
Yeah.
mid range?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah. Yeah.
it lack it
Go ahead,
lacks a
Ken.
lot as far as the overall total game for me. I love the game, Mike, to watch it. High school, college,
Mm-hmm.
the pros, but I think coaches need to give more attention than just the three, because you'll watch a game and you're like, okay, you could have passed that down low, easy, easy too, but you go, man, come on. But anyway,
Man, you know what? People don't understand how much basketball has changed.
oh
If I had a layup and I came down
man,
and I pulled up for, man, listen, even if I made it,
man, right?
uh,
I was just
hey, go to the end of the bench. You see what I'm saying?
right.
Like they don't understand the. And when I hear people say this, Ken, that the players of the day are more skilled than the players of the past. Do you know this, Ken? And you were gonna talk about this, maybe more in more depth. But Ken, the NBA is the only what we want to say industry or sport itself that criticizes the people that built the foundation for them. Baseball, you'll never hear somebody saying how if Babe Ruth was around today, he couldn't hit no home runs. But they throw the ball faster though. Don't know if they can.
Right.
Oh,
I
okay.
get.
You'll never hear people saying, you know what, man, if such and such was Dickerson was around, he'll never steal bases like he did. But you'll never hear that. You'll never hear anybody saying Albert Palmer, if he was alive today, he couldn't win a tournament. You'll never hear that. But guess what? You always hear if they were around today, they couldn't play in today's NBA.
Mike,
It's
that's
it
just
can't. It's so sad because let me just say this, Ken. The
Okay,
reason why it's so sad, in my opinion, because the NBA, the majority of the NBA is made up of people that look like us.
that's true.
And that's why I say we can have a whole nother conversation about this, but that's some cultural stuff, bruh. That it's not a good look, man. And I heard this conversation on NBA radio this past week, man, and it
Okay.
just made me sad just to hear that, because I'm saying, like, nowhere you don't do you hear anybody say if Muhammad Ali was around today, he get knocked out? What? Them
Mike,
dudes revere him, man. That's their hero, man. They look up to him.
but Mike, that's I think to me we have so much news, from on the radio, TV, all the sports networks. They got to have something to talk about because when it's a slow day, they got to make up
They just
something,
got
right? So it's all banter. I don't, Mike. To
yeah,
be honest with you, I don't even really pay it attention, man. I,
yeah,
for me, I just want you to come and compete, play
yeah,
hard, and just show up. That's just me.
yeah,
All
yeah.
that other stuff about uh, if I'll use this one, if Jordan played in today, he get D'd up or stuff, just dumb stuff like that. I'm like, man, go on with that.
I
So
know, I know. Anthony Edwards, only Jordan had skills.
right, I'm like, man, come
What
on.
does JJ Redick say? They were playing against plumbers and firemen.
So
It's like, it's so disrespectful. And let me say this to y'all: stop it. Cut it out. We're the
Mike, it's
only sports that talk negatively about the people that paved the way for them, and we should be celebrating them.
it's Mike. The bottom line, it's only a TikTok view for them. That's it. That's what they're looking for. So
Yeah, and some of them some big names, but we ain't gonna go into that, folks. But listen, we want to know your thoughts on this Milwaukee Bucks victory tonight, folks. What do you think? And also, in closing, let's do this. In closing, Ken, we have the Emirates Cup coming up Milwaukee Tuesday. The Milwaukee
yeah.
Bucks will be hosting the Orlando Magic. What do you think, Ken? How do you think that night is gonna go?
Orlando, they're dealing with a lot of injuries too, as far as that's concerned. Um, with the Bucks being at home, I think they should win. I put it that way. But Orlando will just not going to lay down for them. They're going to go up. They're going to fight to win. But I still think Milwaukee will come out victorious.
Now, if I understand this right, now I got a degree from somewhere, but if I understand this correct, I believe that this will be Chris Middleton's first game back at the Pfizer Center.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be nasty. Okay, so I know Orlando gonna come in, and you know this, kid. Orlando, one of my favorite teams.
All
You
right.
know that. I've been talking about them boys for a few years now. So I like Orlando, expect when they play my Bucks. So guess what? You're gonna come in here and you're gonna take that L.
All
Okay, that's
right.
just the bottom line. They gonna come in. It's gonna be a good game, man. But Chris is coming back home. He's stepping on that court for the first time, and those fans are going to go insane. The
Oh.
energy's gonna be there, baby. And so I'm looking forward to them going to Vegas, man, because I want them dudes in the G League to get some more money.
Yeah,
Okay,
man. Yeah,
okay. Come on, Ken. Let's get them
yeah.
some more money, man. They
Get them
deserve
paid.
some more money, man. Rollins and them cats that's coming down and balling down, and AJ and all that, man. Let's get them some more money. So, Giannis, if you don't win it, just write him a check or something. You
And
can
he
handle it.
can.
You
You're
can
right.
handle it. You know what I'm saying? You and Dame just break off a couple of million or something. But folks, listen, let us know your thoughts and let us know what you think about the game coming up Tuesday. As always, the world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity in our everyday life. This is why they play the game.